we're going to just pick up on this piece in today's Telegraph by Sam Dean. Lewis Skelly's secret weapon is a Lomu-like rugby handoff. Arsenal's youngsters' use of arms to drive past opponents compared to rugby great and the ex-Spurs favourite Dembele, who we mentioned earlier on. Joining us now, our very own Stuart Pearce. Hi, Stu.
Hi, Stuart.
Hi, gentlemen. How you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you.
First off, we haven't spoken to you. I know you've probably spoken a lot about it, but we saw you on telly yesterday. One of the cabin crew helped you out. You sound like you're in fine fettle now, Stuart.
Yeah, on the up. Got a couple of tests to do. One this week, one next week, and should be fine though. Feel good in myself.
That is really good news,
Stuart.
So yeah, the art of the handoff, Stuart. As I said, so many players don't do that as much, probably because of fear that they're going to put a hand in the face and the player's going to go down clutching it and try and get them sent off. But it is a very useful weapon. I don't know. I mean, when you think about it, you have seen Lewis Skelly do it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, in my era, the best at that by a million miles was Paul Gascoigne. He was fantastic at it. I've got to say, he really used that sort of just to keep a distance away from the ball, you know, so really good. As I say, Lewis Skelly, or is it handy that someone's made a deal now of him and exposed him for doing that type of thing, you know what I mean? It's alerted referees and opponents, you know, and as you say, you can't do it as much now. Opponents go down so cheaply, it's embarrassing, you know, so they might use it as a tool to get him sent off.
Yeah, you can just imagine Costa Rica in the World Cup thinking, have a bit of that.
As long as there's cameras there, there's absolutely, unless the VAR is completely useless, which is always quite possible, there is no reason why, if someone does play act, that you're still going to end up getting a red. I mean, I suppose it also, you know, they were making the point in the piece today, across all 20 Premier League clubs, only 4 players have drawn more fouls more frequently than Lewis Skelly. Grealish, Bruno Guimaraes, James Maddison and Buendia at Aston Villa.
Yeah, that type of player, Paul.
That type of player. Lad. But, you know, maybe it does alert also referees to the fact that, you know, you're having to hand people off, so you are being fouled, so you get the free kicks.
Yeah, I find that quite amazing, that stat, that a left-back as such, albeit a very advanced left-back, is one of the most fouled players. You know, it's quite incredible, really, when you consider the company he's in and players that dribble a lot, let's say, you know, that draw fouls. So quite unusual that is the case for him. But it's like everything. You've got to find something you're good at. You've got to, you know, Des Walker used to say to me, you've got to have a unique selling point as such. As a player, what is yours, you know what I mean? And if that is part of his armoury as well and good. He's certainly made a great impact at international and club level.
It's great at 18, though, that he's got those skills and he's got the confidence to use those skills, but also he's got that little bit of edge as well. I think that really goes for him.
That was the big thing that struck me, actually. I watched him play up at Newcastle not so long ago, and he's got a little bit of edge, a little bit of niggle about him. Him and Trippier were at each other most of the game, you know, so it was quite enjoyable to watch, to be quite honest with you. You know, they're at each other, no one going down cheaply, a lot of verbals, a lot of looking at each other and staring and whatever, but you don't see that as often now in the game.
We talk a lot about how positions have evolved, Stuart, but I'm just wondering, you know, you played under an old school manager, but a great visionary in Brian Clough, and the idea that, you know, it's all about inverting these days and popping up in midfield and in different areas. What would Clough's attitude to that have been, you think?
Well, I used to score a lot of goals personally by underlapping, you know, playing 1-2s off a Nigel Clough and arriving. So it's not something that's just been invented as such, you know, in many ways. He just wanted you to play a good ball into an opponent in midfield. Did he want us defenders to go and join midfield? Well, he never told me not to. You know what I mean? So, and it was a reasonable, steady stream of goals for myself and the club. So whether it was playing balls into Nigel's feet or a centre forward's feet, and they got fouled, then we got free kicks on the edge of the box, which were shooting opportunities and goal scoring opportunities as well. So. But I see fullbacks going in now and standing in there. I prefer, if you're going to go in there to overload that area and go in. Don't go in there and stand. Go in there in full flight, if you like. So you're looking to play 1-2s to go past people.
So it's turning into a vintage season for your old club Forest at the moment. Still in semi-final of the FA Cup, still pushing for Champions League place. I'm wondering if it's a good night to play Forest. I wonder how much that took out of them the other day.
It's a long old game, yeah.
Well, the place is going to be bouncing. There's no doubt about that. The euphoria of what's just happened, the result down there, semi-final to look forward to, third in the Premier League at the moment. The place will be bouncing. It's important that Nuno gets them at it again. United are be beaten. There's no doubt about that. But they also got the ability and players in their squad that can actually win the game as well. I'm looking at the table as we speak, and I think they're 5 points clear of Chelsea at the moment. You win this game, all of a sudden you got 8 games to go, and the promised land of the Champions League and maybe an FA Cup final. What a season that will be for the club.
Yeah,
it's the team spirit that's impressed me so much. They all seem to be playing so for each other. They seem to enjoy playing for each other as well. Plus, you've got some very, very good players like Morgan Gibbs-White in there. The keeper's amazing, I think. Got a very good spine in the team. But the team spirit seems to really drag them over the line.
And I think that includes the boys who aren't starting games. Yeah. You've heard a few of them say, look, I'd like to be starting more, but we got a good set of lads and I've just got to play myself in. It does seem like even the boys who aren't getting starts are bought into what Nuno's doing.
No, I totally agree with both comments, really. That it's there for all to see, the unity of the squad, of the coaching staff, as the manager and the supporters. The club is of one at the moment, and sadly, I was privy to it. The club weren't as one, for many years potentially. So it's no doubt it's on the up at the moment. The recruitment's been very good. There was Milenkovic and Anderson were, outstanding at the weekend, I thought. And to be fair, then the recruits that have come in just recently as such, that have really added to it. So the recruitment's been fantastic as well.
And in Marinakis, they've got an owner that, if they do push on, you sense will back them, won't they? He'll add more quality to the squad.
Well, to be fair, he come in and I think he invested when they got into the Premier League, some circa 120, 150 million. So he put his money where his mouth was, and the club have just grown and grown from that moment onwards, basically. The recruitment's been very good. The likes of Elanga and Hudson-Odoi, they've rekindled both of them and they're playing good football now. Wood, unbelievable, playing the football of his career, and he wasn't involved at the weekend. So things are really looking good for Forest, and it's pleasing to see, because they're the sort of club, I know I'm biased, I was there for 12 years before I come back again, but I think they're the sort of club, and because Cloughie was there and all that type of thing, that people have got a soft spot for, even if they're not your first team. They don't grudge Forest doing well.
Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs, Monday to Friday afternoons 1 till 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.